Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? I have for you one clip to watch. It's from the United Kingdom, and it just is yet more evidence that leftist ideology has pervaded every aspect of society, and including, most worryingly, and this is on both sides of the pond, as I'm sure you well know, the military and the police. Okay, now when that happens, you've really got some problems. Okay, so this is a journalist. He filmed a conversation with himself with South Wales Police Force or Service. They don't like to be called forces anymore. Now, this police officer from South Wales Police phones this journalist to basically intimidate him into removing a post that he says could offend the alphabet community. And if he didn't take it down, and if anyone, no matter whether they're real or not, if they found it offensive, he would then be immediately arrested. That's this journalist. Okay, which of course leaves the inevitable question, well, if I'm offended by this police officer's actions, his intimidation attempt, does that mean that police officer will be arrested? Okay. Oh, well no, that's different. That's different, yeah. And they've been caught in that trap, which I'll get onto. So let's watch this clip, see what's happening. If you haven't yet though, please like the video, subscribe to the Hoggcast, hit the notification bell and share the video around. You can also find us on Rumble. I upload my videos to Rumble as well, because we are shadow banned and deboosted here on YouTube. Also have a membership option. You can join to become a member if you so choose. You can support the Hoggcast and my work that way, but of course you don't have to. Okay, let's go.
My concern was that somebody will take offence to it. So the reason the police were contacting you, or to give you to speak to you, was to basically say, look, heads up, take that video down. If someone sees it, that it is of ethnic minority, or someone takes offence to it, there is going to be offences there against you for making that video.
So what he's saying is, this policeman's saying, travesty of a policeman, he's saying that an offence hasn't actually been committed. Yeah, this journalist uploading the video that he uploaded isn't a crime, but if someone perceives it to be offensive to them, then he will be arrested. Okay, even though he hasn't committed a crime. Now the police would justify it by saying, oh, it's a hate crime, right? But think about it here. What he's saying is, the definition of a hate crime isn't that a crime itself has been committed, but that if someone perceives the words that you have spoken to be offensive to them, but it only goes in one direction. For example, the Queen died. Yeah, as you know, Queen Elizabeth II's dead. Yeah. The wholly predictable, because the left is nothing but predictable, wholly predictable response from them has been just to insult her legacy, the rest of it. You know all the crap they talk. Yeah. So I wanted to test. After I saw this, I said, you know, I want to test this out a bit. So I was just having this, you can't even call it debate, more like a slanging match with a leftist. And this leftist then used an epithet against me. Yeah, he wasn't white, British himself. He said quite an offensive thing to me, that if you replaced the word white with black, that would be it for me. If I'd have said that, and if I'd have said it about him, that would have been the end. So I said, all right, fair enough. So I actually reported it to Twitter to see if Twitter would do anything about their hate speech, which they tell us that they take extremely seriously. I got a message back in my email from Twitter. I don't know how long it was, but I do know it was less than about 2 hours. Okay, they said that they weren't going to, it didn't violate their hate speech rules, and they weren't going to do anything about it. If I showed you it, you would see straight away that it would come under the umbrella of the thing that they like to wax lyrical about so much. Yeah, so it only goes in one direction.
He's not the hate crime is if someone perceives that to be something, and if someone takes offence to it, you could be liable for offence.
Right.
So it's sort of look heads up.
So look at this guy's face. This is I see this look on Conservatives so much. The full gravity of the situation is falling on his shoulders now. He understands how messed up society has become. Because as I explained to you, that he hasn't actually done anything wrong, but if someone perceived it to be offensive to them, then they would arrest him, even though he hasn't done anything wrong. He's realising that in real time. Yeah, it must be frightening to have the police do this to you, right? That to live in a country where you know that they're not on your side.
I'm halfway through watching that video now. You're gonna have to take that down. That's a bit
So what you're saying is that someone could get offended, and so I could be charged, right? There's a couple of hundred people calling me a Nazi online, and that's really quite offensive. So I was wondering if you could investigate them as well, please.
Well, it's one thing. It was called.
Well, so you can't answer. You can't answer.
Oh, there's hundreds of people online. I can send you all the screenshots or the proof. You know, I've kept it. I've got someone who's stalking me in Cardiff.
So he's got the proof of all of these people doing these things, leftists calling him fascist, thisist, and so on and so on, which naturally, if you're not, because of course you aren't, you would find offensive. So where's our representation? Where's, you know, you make such a song and dance about, oh, you know, we're against this speech, we're against that speech. Prove it then. But you won't, because you selectively enforce. This isn't even the law. He hasn't even committed a crime. So you selectively enforce the left-wing inquisition, which is essentially what it is.
For my views.
Right.
Did you see that? Right. See, he doesn't know how to respond. The NPC script has ran out. We'll play that bit again without me interrupting. But you can see that when he went, right, he doesn't really know how to respond because he's an NPC. I'm talking about the police officer. It's messed his whole script up. Yeah. Because this is putting the police officer in a situation he doesn't want to be in. Because now he's having to he's in a position where he's being asked to apply this standard that he's oh so passionate about back to his own side. Yeah? And he doesn't want to do it. This should be a constitutional crisis, that you have police officers doing this. Right.
People online, I can send you all the screenshots or the proof.
So this is it playing again. Watch his reaction to this person saying, well, okay, if that's your standard, apply it to the left.
You know, I've kept it. I've got someone who's stalking me in Cardiff for my views.
Right.
But I mean, you know, if I could be charged with calling someone undocumented dealing, which is the...
telling you to take it down. All I'm saying is that...
So now he's changed tack. He says, oh, I'm not telling you to take it down. But he just said take it down, right? This is a journalist who uploaded a video about illegal or undocumented aliens, illegal aliens, and people who, well, look, I don't need to describe to you what they are. You know who they are. People who have entered the country illegally. People who this police officer himself should be dealing with, but doesn't. Instead, he runs defence for them against him, a British citizen. Okay? So he's just said, I'm not telling you to take it down. I'm pretty sure he just did.
That video is it's a bit out there. It's a bit yeah, I wouldn't be posting that video if I didn't. I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be posting that video if I were you. It's a threat. That's a threat.
Surprised at all if someone was to take offence to that.
People are going to take offence to whatever, but...
So he's immediately brushed off everything he just said, and the police officer immediately tries to pivot it back round to him in his video. Yeah? Because that's the NPC response. He's not programmed to understand that his standard, that he's oh so passionate about, will then be asked to hold your own to that standard. He doesn't know how to deal with it, so he just goes straight back to attacking this journalist.
At the end of the day, offence is subjective. So, you know, I get offended, you know, people get offended over everything. So it's not down to me. I'm not going to remove the video because I'm a journalist. That's my job. That is my job as a journalist, is to expose what's going on, and you know, this is costing the taxpayer hundreds of millions of pounds. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, at the end of the day, you've been made aware. You're under no obligation to take it down. By all means, what you want to do is whatever.
See, look at his face, yeah. That is the you can see how stressed out he is, right? It's a game, isn't it? Right, and we on the right all know it is, yeah. So this police officer has gone from asking him to take it down to being exposed to being a hypocrite, to then lying and saying that he didn't ask him to take it down, then immediately pivots to asking him to take it down again, and then changes to subtly suggesting that maybe he should take it down because someone might find it offensive, using the term illegal alien. Yeah. Try to understand what we on the right. This is how you end up with a face like him here. Yeah. It is so far removed from normality to have police doing this to people, right? They don't even bother. Do you know that in Britain, in many parts of England and Wales, they don't even bother to investigate burglaries anymore? Yeah, they're not interested. They prefer to do this. They phone people up and hassle them. Yeah? And then when he asks to apply this standard back to the left, who cause untold amount of offence towards the right, it's yeah.
What you want to do is whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
There we are. All right. Cheers, sir.
Bye.
I wouldn't have said thank you. I'd have just hung up on him.
Bye. Send those videos to me. I'll get back to you. Yep.
Unbelievable, isn't it? That's the end of the clip. Something similar happened to. There's a young British lady who she was the victim of grooming gangs, and she's developed a reasonably sized platform in which she calls out these grooming gangs that target young white girls. Okay, and the Telford police, who by the way have an appalling history, right, when it comes to these gangs. They have you can't put into words how inept their response was, how counterproductive their response was. Yeah, in my opinion, criminal. Right, their response to it was they did the same to her. They phoned her up and said, "Oh, you know, you shouldn't be talking about this," because she did an interview in which she listed the failings of Telford police. Instead of admitting that they've done wrong, instead of trying to fix the situation, their immediate response was to phone her up and threaten her. "Oh, we just wanted to talk to you about that interview you did." Why? Listen, the only reason the police ever need to approach anyone or to talk to anyone or to phone anyone is if a crime, a real crime, has been committed. If not, just leave people alone. Yeah? Right? There are things. Communicating with words is actually, if you think about it, the fallback stance. Most people communicate with body language, or they communicate by sending out a message. How can I put it? They say things without saying it. That's the best way I can describe it. And I'll give you an example. The Telford police, when they phoned her up, "Oh, we just want to talk to you about that interview you just did." What they're actually saying is, shut it. Yeah. What they're actually doing is it's intimidation, and that's exactly what he was doing here, intimidating him. Take that video down. It's the Fort police. The actual police of a generation ago are now the Fort police. Right? So forget all of his mealy-mouthed words. What he's saying without saying is, take the video down or we'll come and arrest you. I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.